the field for the 6, lining up in behind the Metro Home Building Center starting gate. It is the Eastern Kings Volunteer Fire Department pace upstairs for the call to track announcer Vance Cameron.
Wims drop off. Phil Dorleans. Winsong Quincy McDundee. Zach the Men Hemingway. Check your source on the outside. It's the 6 race and they're up on the gate. Top of the stretch. Here they come. Rough and pacing, Phil Dorleans and Mick Dundee are leaving out at the rail. Wims drop off, third one to the turn. Wins on Quincy, fourth, up fifth on the outside. Check your source to get away 6 towards the rail. That's Zach the Men. The early trailer is Hemingway. On the backstretch they go. Phil Dorleans the leader. It's going to be short-lived. Here's Mick Dundee driving up to take over the lead for Donnie McNeil. Second is Phil Dorleans. Wims drop off at the rail third. Racing from fourth. That is Winsong Quincy. Check your source on the cones fifth. Then racing sixth. As they move round the turn, that is Zach the Men trailing the field. Hemingway is seventh. There's the quarter up in 28. 3 off the turn they come and they straighten down the stretch. They have the half mile in their sights now. It's Mick Dundee the leader. Phil Dorleans is second. Wims drop off third. On the move on the outside fourth. Winsong Quincy underway. Zach the Men picks up the second over Toe on the outside fifth. 6 up the rail. That is Check Your Source. On the outside seventh Hemingway. 58. 2 was the opening half mile. They're rounding the paddock turn for the second time. They're chasing Mick Dundee, now going to 3/4. Phil Dorleans second from the outside. Winsong Quincy is there third. Wims drop off, riding the rail fourth. On the outside fifth is Check Your Source. Then in sixth, it's Hemingway. On the outside, Zach the Men seventh. 3/4 up in 1. 28 and 2. They round the turn for the final time. 1/8 of a mile out. Winsong Quincy takes over the lead. Second, that is Mick Dundee. Phil Dorleans on the outside third. Deep stretch now. Winsong Quincy. Phil Dorleans. Winsong Quincy on the line for Kenny Arsenault. Phil Dorleans was second. Mick Dundee third in 1:57. Bullet!
Okay, we thought Phil Dorleans and Mick Dundee would be aggressively driven here tonight, and they were. First 2 off the wings, and Mick Dundee wanted to cut it here for McNeil, and so Phil Dorleans and Hughes released him to the front there, 28 and 3, half 58 and 2. Kenny Arson was going to pull in the right line here with Winsong Quincy, another one we talked about in the pre-race. He's been putting together some really nice miles, and this is a nice first over effort here tonight. Arsenault's going to drive by them here in deep stretch and get it done for a mile of 1:57. On his back, though, was Phil Dorleans, hot on his tail, but he's going to have to settle for the deuce. And Mick Dundee, who did all the road work early, they're going to have to settle for the show dough. So it's Winsong Quincy to get it done here in 1:57. And this was the Eastern Kings Volunteer Fire Department pace. And the Eastern Kings Volunteer Fire Department has Chief Michael Poole and Deputy Chief Lindsay Rose, along with 27 dedicated members. And their department responds to approximately 30 calls a year. And they have 3 pumpers, 2 tankers, and a rescue command post truck ready to answer calls when needed. And we would like to thank the Eastern Kings Volunteer Fire Department for their efforts in keeping their communities safe.
Now returning into the 6-race winner's circle, number 3 is Winsong Quincy. Bay Pacing Gelding 6 by Sports Rider off the Jeremy's Jet Dam Dana Dearest, owned by Thane and Jack Arsenault, Deborah Wilson, and Edward Blaisdell. And the horse is bred by Charles Emlis, Christopher Rue and Bill Loyens. Trained by Thane Arsenault. Kenny Arsenault drives him to victory tonight in 157. Winsong Quincy in the 6th. Eastern Kings Volunteer Fire Department with the winner's circle presentation.